Well, good morning. Welcome to today's Morning Moxie with Larisa. So, in keeping with our theme this week on events, today I want to talk about how to make your event a grand experience for the attendees. Because if you didn't know it, you're not just giving an event and sharing some products that you want people to buy. To be successful for the long term, you really want to create an experience. And I am going to pull you off the stage, um, theoretically, and give you some thoughts about what your audience is looking for. Now, you may have heard the uh, thought that if you are, say, you're talking to someone and you just really nod your head a lot and you help move the conversation along and you give good eye contact and you make that other person feel special. And when they walk away and they talk about you to somebody else and they say, so and so is such a great conversationalist, and you haven't really said anything, but what you did do is that you listened. And it's the same with events. You want to create opportunities for your attendees to connect, because when they connect with others at the event, that really enhances the experience for them, and they will go away talking. They may not remember everything you said on the stage, but if they've made 3, 5, 10 good contacts at the event, that is going to go down in history and be talked about and promoted as the best event ever. So make sure that you are actively including opportunities for your attendees to connect during the event. So that is the key takeaway that I want you to get from this video if you don't hear the rest of it. But some ways that you can do that would be you can facilitate conversations, because people, they've driven on the highway, they may have rushed and they're just like coming from somewhere else, or who knows, they're distracted, right? So you want to bring them into the fold, and so you as the host have a responsibility to help your people connect. Now you might do that with color-coded name tags, so that means that your VA, virtual assistant, has done some homework to kind of match people up by industry, like this person in image consulting would be a good fit for someone who is a fitness expert, right? So if they were color coded the same, for example, their name tags, then that is a trigger for them to connect with each other at the event. Another thought is that I've seen it, you could put a question on the name tag so that during the breaks, people have the opportunity to answer the question or ask the question that's on someone's name tag, and that helps facilitate conversation. Another way is consider assigned seating. What I notice a lot is that people, they move in little bunches. If they came with their girlfriend or 2 or 3 girlfriends, they spend the whole time with those 2 or 3 people, and they don't take advantage of the opportunity to mingle and get to know others, and that would really enrich the experience if they met other people who could be a friend, could be a prospect, could be a client, could just be someone to give them referrals. Or maybe they just had a good time and they have coffee, or they don't, but they had a great time at your event. So I'm suggesting maybe consider assigned seating. And when I say assigned seating, I mean just put a little clever place card on at each seat, so that put some thought into who might be a good match again to sit with someone, so that conversation happens naturally. And of course, these are branded place cards because your name and your colors are in front of them on the frame. But again, just sprinkle the names around in a thoughtful manner, so that they are, again, getting to know new people and not just the same people that they walked in the door with. And one thing that I really like the idea of, you've seen, fortune cookies, those little slips of paper. Now you can actually pay to have some printed, or you could just print some up on the computer and cut them up in strips, kind of sprinkle them like confetti on the table, and that encourage people to, pick them up, and that just conversation starters. Where did you go last week on vacation? Your last vacation? Where, what's your favorite food? Or where have you traveled? Whatever, something topical for your event. So, your biggest business conundrum, whatever the question might be, the whole point is to get some decibel levels and get people talking. So I really like the idea of assigned seating, conversation starters, or, just make a strong invitation for people to pick a new seat when they break for lunch or the morning break or whatever it happens to be. Anytime there's a break, they should be sitting with someone new when they come back from the break. And then my thought is that people attend events because they want to meet other people. Sure, they want to know what's on the top, hear what's coming, being presented on the stage. They might certainly want to talk to the presenter, but they also want to make connections. And so if they're distracted thinking about, okay, who am I going to connect with? I got to meet some people. What's going to happen? Just have a 15-minute speed networking. Include that as part of your agenda so they can just get that out of their system and then they can pay attention to what you're saying on the stage. So do speed networking in the traditional sense where, it's a time, 1 minute intro, what you need, what do I have, that type of thing. And then, they move chairs when they hear a chime. Or do reverse networking. It's like a beehive game, right? So 5 people sit together in a group and they find out what the other 4 people need. And then they have a timer and they go out and try and find it in the room. So that's just called a beehive speed networking type of event. And really, again, as the host, I think you are responsible for everything, I know, but also for ensuring that connections are made. So you're on the stage, you can't do it personally, except possibly during the break. But certainly your team should be facilitating introductions. So not just listening to you. Yes, they have to mind the door. Yes, they have to sign people in. So hopefully they have more than 1, 2 at least professional introducers. That might not be a word, but I hope you get my point. So those are really some considerations that I hope you will take seriously when you're hosting your next event so that your people walk away with the perception that this was just the best event ever, and that's because they made some really quality connections during your event. So, hope you've enjoyed today's Morning Moxie, and we will continue with the event hosting theme for the rest of the week. This is Larisa. Until next time, ciao.